Stadium for BoB.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kusangpo, and welcome back after a long break to yet another match day here in the BoB Women's National League Tier 3, and facing off today here at Changlimitang are the two juggernauts that have imposed dominance on the league so far. Both teams unbeaten, both teams as many points as they could possibly have gotten. A clean run. It is Thimphu City Women's versus RTC Women's FC. Right now, Thimphu City Women's 4 wins to their name. A decimation of Transport United 3-1. Devastation for U17 Gallifrey Academy 4-1. The U20 8-3 and Thimphu City 8-2 in their most recent outing, where Holali Otivo had 6 goals versus City. But on the opposite side is RTC, their biggest obstacle in the way. 58 goal difference across 5 matches, all clean sheets. Unbeaten, 15 points at the top as we await the national anthem to set things in motion.
Please rise for the national anthem.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, my warm pleasure to welcome you all back to match day 27 of the BoB Women's National League. A long time since we broke off and kept the league on hold for the exam breaks, which most of the participants were taking during this short window. But we are back in action again. RTC in their signature blue, Thimphu playing in their alternate black and red, and a new and beloved face returning to the scene here in Bhutan with the addition of Sangeeta Mongar in their starting 11. And here is the starting 11 for both sides. For RTC, it is Kinda Demo on goal Sugmaya, their captain. Number 5, Pemakinza Chokki. Number 8, Sring Harin 9, Somhamo 10. Finsucharin 12, Tojirin 16. Namgedema 17, Sring Yangchin 18. Dikil Hazum 19 and Kinle Zangmur completing the starting 11 for the reigning top of the table. RTC up at 15, 3 points clear of Thimphu City, which means a lot at stake for the starting 11 in black. Sangeeta Mongar, the national goalkeeper, back this time in the domestic league at number 23, the goalkeeper for Thimphu City. Pemacharan Sitting, no doubts the captain for Thimphu City. Number 6, Somcharan 4, Kamazamo 9, Prayagale 11, Jamengcharan 12, Sunita Rai 13, Rita Rai 15, Somcharan 17, Holali Otivo, their goal scoring machine at 28, and Sitting Youngden 29, completing the 11 for Thimphu City. The referees for today will be Sitting Charan, assisted by Prem Kumari Sunwar and Kinzang Charan. The 4th official for today, Choki Yom. Again, a reminder to our fans as to what is at stake right now. This is Tier 3, with the top 6 teams looking to get promoted up to Tier 1, and the remaining bottom 4 in the Tier 3 system right now will have to play on in Tier 2 amidst themselves. Right now, both the teams, their biggest obstacles in the way are each other. So the match here will be pretty decisive as to which team comes out on top. Right now, it is looking like RTC. Devastating campaign, like a bulldozer that marched through, well, anything standing in their way. It was a decimation of Paro 8-0. 8-0 again against the under-17 side from Gallifrey Academy. A 7-0 beatdown of Wigan Academy. 10-0 against Sirang. And wait for it, 25-0 against Funsaling. Bringing them to a current goal difference of 58 goals across 5 games. My oh my, and they are not looking to stop at all. This time, however, starting is Holali Otivo, and there we have the whistle that brings domestic action back home here at Changlimitang. Ambitiously driven down the middle to Holali, but RTC again, their signature personnel down in midfield controlling the tempo, send it right back, however, but the first touch is for Sitting Hudden. Will not quite go her way. Had a single goal, was brought in as a sub, I believe, in that latest outing versus Funsaling. In that matchup, it was Dekil Hazom who had 7 goals. Chunyuang Mo on the bench, 4 goals. Somga Kipalzom as well, who had 2. But on the other end, the threat from Holali as real as always. Solid effort, but couldn't quite get it past the goalkeeper, too high above, and it will fly above the crossbar. Dangerous effort, the audience on their feet, anticipating much expected action from Holali up front. Has been a brilliant signing for the Thimphu City side this time around, alongside her partnership with Pemacharan, who helps bring that ball up for those 2 strikers. And Sunita, their new signing, brought over from Transport United. Her pace did not get the call up to the Dragon squad this time around, but as dangerous as ever, RTC Sankita showing her sheer class. Definitely missed her presence here in Bhutan. Put to the test early. Pemacharan it is to send it right back out. An early opportunity for both sides. Again, as I was saying, right now both teams undefeated. It is 4-0 for Thimphu City. It is 5-0 for RTC, putting them at 15 and 12 points each. So the 3 points here will pretty much confirm their spot at the top of Tier 3. And an early opportunity, RTC with a corner delivery, lofted right down the middle, but look at that, calm hands from Sangeeta. Typically saw Karmayudin in underneath those goalposts for Thimphu City, but this time around, they simply upped their game. Thimphu City looking to commit to the victory against RTC today. It is a brilliant weather. Do have a misty mountain up top over the clouds at Changlimitang, but so far has been nice. Did have a little drizzle early on, but right now the situation seems to have calmed down. RTC now in possession. Hard to get possession out of that. Well, what else to call it, but sheer hustle from Sunita down on that wing, running left and right, ended up getting a poke on the ball, but it will earn a whistle from the referee. And now a restart from RTC, delivered right down the middle, sent right out. Holali sent down. RTC they do at least seem to be respecting the threat from Thimphu City's forward, number 28. Her scoring ability, all in the end of a culmination of a brilliant use of her burst of speed and sheer athleticism. Levels of control over her own body, which you typically do not see over in the women's competition. It is more a battle of skill. But with that, she does have a lot of acceleration that gives her an edge over pretty much any defender here in the BoB Women's National League. Showed us a glimpse early on of the threat that she could potentially be. But right now that possession will come to an end. Dojidin to send it right back out the other way, a part of the Dragon squad as well. By all means a capable defender. And their last international campaign did have an unfortunate deflection that put it right in towards Bhutan's own goal. But a memory of the long, long past. Man in the domestic league so far has been brilliant for RTC. No complaints with that regard. But right now, Thimphu City, it is their defense that is their weakest. By no means are they weak, but compared to RTC, who has no holes everywhere in their starting 11, Thimphu City and their strength lie more towards the usefulness and effectiveness of their three forwards, also helped by the presence of number 12 right in the middle, Jamyang. So those four will be the options going forward. Sringladen unfortunate with that left foot pass driven right down to Holali, with Doji Eden with the instincts to get a read in. RTC, Jamyang it is with the escape pass played right down to Preya. And an unfortunate end to that possession. Look at that burst of acceleration there. Got the defender off guard, who thought she had plenty of time to work with. But Reta Rai putting that work rate to good use. Challenge came in clean from Punso. It is RTC with the escape. Dekil Hazum can dynamite the vision to get that pass out to that right. Karma may have been a step behind, but Sangeeta, no hesitation in that read from the Dragon goalkeeper. And now a throw in for RTC. Not many options. Thimphu City are closing it down, but RTC do get that deflection off, fortunately, towards that flank, and then outlet right down the middle, stolen off by Sunita. Not quite the cleanest of outlets, did have a lot of help, but forced it right deep towards RTC's centre line. It is RTC still. Punso got past Jamyang, 12 on 12. It is RTC that came out on top, but Punso couldn't quite complete the full stop on that possession, and it will now go back right out to Sangeeta. Then a bit ambitious there with the clearance. It was Thimphu City who came in first, and this time Holali flagged off side. Will be a restart for RTC. Also, we really do appreciate the feedback that is coming in, but we do have a lot more cameras coming in. Our order did go through, so we only need to wait for those cameras to come in. That way we will get those cameras set up on that side as well. But until then, right now, this is where the setup is most comfortable and more easily accessible to our broadcast station. So that is why it is here. But until we get a new cameras, please do hold your patience now. But really do appreciate your feedback. Do let us know if there are any more. But back to the match at hand. A solid header there from Doji Eden. Will send it right back out. Chaos right in the middle. RTC. Hesitations with regards to who gets that final touch. And that outlet will be flagged for offside. Thimphu City again. Referring to what I was talking about earlier. Their forwards, their explosiveness lean a bit to seem a bit unbalanced with regards to the capacity of their entire team. Their back line, although very capable against any other team, may find it really difficult to beat that partnership with Sringladen, Dekil Hazum, Sonam Namge and Pema Kinza. Equally as explosive as the rest of the Thimphu City squad, except for maybe Holali Ativo, whose sprint speed is unlike any other. It may only be matched by Dekil Hazum's. short burst of acceleration and her agility. Decent matchup. Sunita cannot find an angle again. The winger really having a difficult time finding her own footing, has resorted herself to a more creative role for this squad, her new squad this time around for Thimphu City. That left wing, when she drives in, she gets a lot of opportunities to get deliveries right inside towards Holali or maybe even Pema Churin. But she has been struggling to find goals for herself. So far, her scores have all come in very last minute when her team has all but made quick work, clean work of their opposition, and there is not much resistance to her shots. But right now it does seem to be becoming evident. Her rushed passes has been creating a lot of turnover so far for Thimphu City. But right now RTC in possession, options right down the middle, outlet towards that left, Sering Laden. We've seen so many goals from her. May have been a handball on that, but play will build on. Shot from distance, right to the face of Chamyang. And now Sunita Pema Churin, her flair, her footwork, lobs off a brilliant one up front. But a bit too forward even for Sunita there. And the referee, a couple of words, not liking the complaints RTC has put forward on that potential handball. Down the flanks, Pemakinza was posted right up, may have been offside, but it is Thimphu City who gets a clean interception in. Strong challenge there from Punso, Brea Gully, and yet another offside, Sering Laden. One of the most nonchalant players, in fact, does not really show that much emotion. And her goals as well, very calm. Typically gets them by way of casual chips above the goalkeeper. Simple technique, all it takes for her to get her goals in. But the winger right now finds Pemakinza in the middle, mashed up, can't find an outlet. Pema Churin positioned perfectly. And look at that, the work rate of Thimphu City's captain. Gets one in up front, Holalia Tivo. It is sent right back on left foot, will not find the finish. However, Holali contact off of a shot, and both of them in a lot of pain. Well, Holali does seem to be up, but Doji Iren on the other hand took the brunt of that shot from the city forward, and she is struggling to get right back up. Again, taking this opportunity to remind to our viewers, if you're playing football, please wear shin guards. As big as they are, as uncomfortable as they are, they do end up protecting yourself in the long run. But at the same time, massive thanks to our main sponsors, Bank of Bhutan, our beverage partners, Coca-Cola, our internet partners, Bhutan Telecom, and to our clothing partners, Hummel, for making this competition happen here in Bhutan. But with that, we are back in action. It is a corner for Thimphu City. Taking it is Sunita. Holali on the sidelines. We'll have to wait a bit before she is cleared enough to get right back in. And Pema Churin finally breaks the clean sheet record for RTC as they concede their first of their campaign. And it is the captain who lights their way. Is coming off a fantastic form this time. The break not stopping her at all. Solidly put there by Sunita, and all she had to do was guide it right in. No chance there for Kinza Dema as RTC now down against Thimphu City's opener. A lot of fans expecting the match to go the way of RTC, but right now they do find themselves down surprisingly, but we can't really count them out, can we? 25 goals in their last outing, and we are yet to see even a fraction of that output from the Blues. Even more recently, it was Brazil versus Japan, where a lot of hopes were placed on that opener from Japan until Brazil simply decided to come right back in with what else can we say? But right now, similar expectations at the first quarter of an hour. It is Thimphu with the opener, but a lot more minutes to protect. RTC will not be shut down for long. Namgedema. We've seen efforts from her from ranges at that point and much farther as well, but this time we'll decide to get that pass out. RTC finding it really difficult. Pemacharan gets a deflection back in. Dekil Hazum has been flagged offside. It will be Thimphu City to restart. Intercepted. RTC left foot. Gap right down the middle. If the clearance doesn't come off in time, Thimphu City may have been in danger, but a great job on that defense when Doji Eden. Lot of pressure. Olalio Tivo. Doji Eden, frustrations getting evident. That final shove may have been a bit unnecessary, but a great job from Toini keeping her calm. Thimphu City get to restart this time from a throw-in. It is possession inside RTC's half. It does carry an equal amount of promise. Olali coming short to get that ball. It is Doji Eden who gets it first. Last touch Sringharan. It will be Thimphu City yet again. Look at the aura from Olalio Tivo. That intimidating presence, those creeping steps coming in from behind, making it hard for those otherwise seasoned athletes from RTC. Fumble a lot of chances as Kinzan this time around. Karma, a crucial part of Thimphu City's build-up, typically is posted up midfield, but since their last outing, she has been shifted over to that back line to help out if the opposition side has a lot of blistering forwards, which was the case for WFC City, I believe, who were their last opponents, who had a lot of amazing talents from across the border. Once they conceded those 2 goals and felt the threat for more, it was Karma Zangmo that held down that back line for Thimphu City. Right now has been given the same assignment. Simply take away any options that RTC has. Finally throw in there. RTC gets a pass right down the middle, but the contest there is very tight. Thimphu City to get a foot in, but they kill Hazum. Amazing flair there from Sringharan. Keeps it under control and right out. Somlamo. Kinle. Been a while since we saw her in action. Will get that pass right out, but mistimed that release. Namgetema was committing to that run, but caught her simply seconds too late. And now Thimphu City Long ball's definitely an option. Karma does have the leg as well to get it right up front, but can't quite get the placement correct. It will be intercepted by RTC right down the middle, and an outlet intercepted by Thimphu City yet again. RTC panicking, rushing a lot of passes. Holali, possible opportunity. But Kinza Timma, solid goalkeeping there. No, did not hesitate at all, coming way off her line. But that was a smart decision if she wants to beat Holali one-on-one. Just prevent the ball from getting to her at all costs. And now a throw in for Thimphu City, deep inside RTC territory. Right now, reigning table leaders not looking comfortable at all. It is the first time they are facing the threat of Holali up front for Thimphu City. My oh my, have they been surprised. Caught off guard, they do not look like they will be playing their game anytime soon. But so many times in this campaign and this season for both the men's and women's sides, I've been proven wrong a lot of times. So hopefully I am proven wrong this time around as well, as Pema Charan gets that flick off right down the middle. Jameng Charan on the recovery off of Tochi. And Holali offside again for Thimphu City as they end yet another possession with a flag up. Also, just a fun fact to our viewers who tuned in since I gave my intro. Right now, Thimphu City has scored one, which puts RTC's goal difference at 57 goals in the positive side. A ridiculous scoreline across 5 games especially. It was an 8-0 victory against Paro, 8-0 follow-up, 7-0, 10-0 and 25-0 victory against Phuntsling. And right now this is the first time anyone has breached the backline and goalkeeper of RTC. But it was relatively easier opponents. Paro FC, who are supposed to be a decent team, faced a strong defeat, 8-0. But also it was before their roster was complete. So a lot of questions as to the rematch, as to what the results of the rematch will be like. On the other end, Thimphu City has faced better tests. Gilabhu City right now solid in the upper table. Faced a defeat 8-2, and all because of Holali as well. 6 goals from her own side, a double hat-trick. Up against a team chock full of talent from across the border as well. So right now, things only warming up. It has only been Pema Charan to put herself in the scoreline right now. Typically in an RTC match or in a Thimphu City match, you would expect goals exceeding 5 or more, or half a dozen by this point. Last time around in RTC's most recent campaign, it was Dekil Hazum that had a hat-trick by the 21st minute. 2 goals from Sonam as well. A solid test this time around right from midfield as Sangeeta makes a decent save. And also, yeah, definitely looking forward to what Paro FC will put forward once they confirm their position up in Tier 1. Right now, I do believe RTC has more than qualified. Thimphu City also, I believe, has more than qualified. Paro right now does have a lot to fight for as Sangeeta makes a clean pick off again right up in front of Pema Kinza. Tikilazum and Pema Kinza, those two with the similar haircuts up front for RTC, are a lethal duo. Tikilazum with her agility, with her explosiveness, with well, not quite something you'd expect to see from Sunita, who's trying to redeem herself. Took that assignment on Tiki, but that outlet towards Sringharan. Too much pressure. Solid defending there from Thimphu City, and it will go out for a throw-in for the City side. Throw-in intercepted. A sight of a challenge from behind by Jambyang. Right down the flank, Holali, look at that. Doji Agent giving her space, does not want to get her anywhere inside that box. Kinle Solid challenge in right up in front of Pemachurin. And now it is Namgetema. Look at that brilliant move. But just a bit too far out. Pemakinsa, however, will get the chance to get a run in. And now Tringharin it is on that left flank. A lot of options. Left-footed delivery far and out. And RTC will have that possession fizzle out. Close call there. A succession of brilliant moves from the RTC forward personnel. But that will not go according to plan. That final touch from Tringharin, which typically does not go wrong. This time it does, however, as RTC still at 0, Thimphu City at 1. Holali against Tojidin. It is Tojidin gets that flick in, but the second ball is recovered by Thimphu City, who will not be able to keep that possession on line. RTC with the throw-in. Again, most definitely RTC not really playing the game that they've shown us that they are capable of. It is Holali only that is the primary threat up front, that is intimidating their defense and goalkeeper. And that intimidation, that debuff has spread across to their forwards as well. Typically, it is a back line that you feel like RTC would have so many opportunities against. But that confidence right now is missing. Hectic possession, RTC still with the throw-in. Down the flank, intercepted, yet another throw-in. Sunita this time. Now for Karma. RTC putting up a bit of pressure on that backline, and they are rewarded. Now opportunity Namgetema lobbed up high. But no chance whatsoever. And it will go right out for Sangeeta Mongar. Thimphu City on the right flank. Reta Rai keeps a solid possession in. Mashed up one-on-one. Gets that trickle right down the middle. But Doji Iden will get a hold of that outlet. And now right down the middle. RTC the chance to get a counter in. But Thimphu City not making any mistakes. The only one struggling in their starting 11 right now is Sunita, who I believe had that assist on Pemachurin's goal as well. So a solid effort from the entirety of their team. As RTC still unable to find an answer. Seconds away from reaching the half an hour mark. RTC now in possession. Namge. Not quite sure what happened in the break. Exam pressure definitely there. And RTC look rusty. Players from whom before the break you would expect a lot of successful dribbles out of are right now looking like they are touching the football for the first time. And look at that again. Yet another throw in on that flank. Typically, football is supposed to be a game where events flow, possessions flow from one to the next, but right now feels like a turn-based sport, like chess. And yet again a throw-in. This time a solid effort. Hopefully it does not roll out, but yes it does. Was there ever a doubt? Sunita, Karma, and yet another throw-in. Also, Thimphu City definitely playing a lot more defensively. Very capably on defense, that would be the more apt term. Pemacharan helping out, Jamangcharan sitting deep. They have put their full faith in Holalia Tivo to carry that offense up front. So even Sunita has dropped deep, and that is not really opening up a lot of opportunities for RTC. Look at that, 5 in that back line, 2 up front, and as interchangeable as always. Really flexible. Sometimes you see 4 on that line, sometimes 5, sometimes 6 if necessary. And that adaptability is making life hell for RTC right now, who still do not have one, and facing the brunt of that pressure is Toji Eden taking on the assignment of Holalia Tivo. Sonam. Sukmaya Holali, look at that closure. A bit too strong there for the referee. And Holali is clutching at her legs as the ball now goes back the other way. Pemakinza sets it up on that right delivery inside, Siringhladen. It is Thimphu City who gets first contact on that header. Sunita put plenty of challenge in on that possession to get it right back out. And Thimphu City do a solid job cleaning up. And Pemacharan. Strong challenge there from the right back. And possession right down the middle. Look at that. Too much flair to balance out that ambition. And now Holalia Tivo. All she has to do is run right down the middle. And a late challenge there. As the referee, yellow card for Punso Choren. With that first separation from Holalia Tivo, Punso far and removed from that play, but still got a late foot in to deny that progression for Thimphu City. And now it is a proper opportunity for the city side to get something going. RTC now on the defensive end. Taking the shot is Karma. Looks like she will go for it. A slip there from Kinzang. A second slip there from Kinzang. But cleans it up right before Sunita could make any sense of that opportunity. Still anyone's ball. Sunita lets it roll, but the offside flag will nullify that advantage. RTC, not quite every day you see a delivery like that. Has been driven low, and now Holali Dojiten and Kinzang the targets to beat, and Olali doubles the lead for Thimphu City, who are now up 2. And RTC yet to find an answer. Amazing strike there from Olali. Didn't waste any time with a second thought, simply launched one off and left no chance for Kinzang Dema. Well, we do have a solid turnout here in Chang Limitang, and my oh my, they are getting a lot of reasons to celebrate, courtesy of Thimphu City. As you look again, Sunita on that left, mashed up against Kinle, but the left foot will not go her way. Plenty of promise following up on that brilliant strike from Olali, brilliant run as well. That's now Pimachurin, the captain, coming alive. Look at that, her motor, her work rate has been the same for so many years. No deterioration from the captain. As that work rate, that level of energy, that motor, still putting in the work for Thimphu City. Karma taking the responsibility still for that. Olali is down. Medical attention has been called in. She was clutching at those legs still from the early stages of the game. And right now, less than 10 minutes remain until the end of the first half, and Olali does seem to be capable of making her way to the sidelines on her own. Now back in action, it is Thimphu City. Karma, decent delivery. Thimphu City will be waiting for that second ball, but it is Sring Harin who gets a clean one off towards Dikil Hazam with no challenge whatsoever. And now an outlet towards Doji Irin. And a chance to set things in motion for RTC. They do have the gaze, but they are simply not in place. Sunita, again, look at that challenge, wins it right back. Pimachurin. A lot of runners. Olali still on the sidelines, so Thimphu City will play it slow. Smart there from the captain, keeping the tempo of play low until Olali got right back in. And now RTC with the throw-in. Olali, still Olali, got past the goalkeeper. Suk Maya. Not quite sure if there was a touch, but did feel like it rolled before Suk Maya could ever get a contact in on that ball. Might have been a blessing, in fact. Only recently over in the men's competition, we did see a similar attempt at a clearance from John Payne Sasha, the captain of Tsirang, which ended up in an unfortunate own goal. Past their own goalkeeper. Luckily right now we did not see that happen. Look at that again, marvelous run from Olali. Brilliantly got past the goalkeeper as well. Kinzantema simply a step too far behind. And now RTC, that ball too far out for any sort of hope. But the flag has gone up. And RTC's offense nullified yet again. Thimphu City in possession, the opportunity to develop something promising. Right now, 5 minutes left in the half. Pemachurin gets a clean one in. Evenly matched on that back line it is. Thimphu City with 5 now. Advantage in numbers, a lot of bodies, a sea of black inside, but the header will go right off from Doji Irin. Kinzatema is down off of that effort. It looked like her hand collided with Doji Irin, if I'm not wrong. An evaluation underway. The medic has been called in for RTC, their goalkeeper. Did go down and has not come back up yet. Well, it seems like the medic is giving the signal that Kinzang will not be able to continue on with the match. Simply unfortunate for RTC on that effort. And yes, it seems like Kinzatema will be taken out, and their second goalkeeper, Karma Yudin, who we've seen a lot of times so far throughout RTC's campaign, will be coming in for RTC Women's now. Well, there it is. The substitution has been confirmed. Karma Yudin will be coming in for Kinzatema. Hopefully, it is a minor injury only and nothing of major concern. Prayers up for the RTC women's goalkeeper. Has been solid. Those 2 goals, not much she could have done to hold them back. Did make a lot of clean saves, but should expect the same from their backup goalkeeper as well. Kamra Yudin has gotten a lot of chances to play for RTC this time around, and we've seen the capability that she has. So hopefully that does help their chances up against Holali and Thimphu City. Sonam, a bit too much ambition there. A harsh tuck there on the jersey, but the referee will let it go with only a whistle. Free kick taken right down the middle, driven. Sonam can't quite get that ball under control. Kinle, look at that, got that timing on that header to perfection. And there it is, 4 more minutes of additional time until we hear the whistle to signal the end of the first half. Dikil Hazum keeps it under control. Pema Kinzang might find it a bit too hard, but does get the outlet out towards Sring Harin, who loses that duel against Jamyang, and now back the other way. Hulali taking it easy. That ball will roll right out for a goal kick. RTC down on the flank, took a tad too heavy, and that does keep that pressure coming from Thimphu City. But fortunately, now that decision to let it roll from Kinleg gives it right over to RTC, and now on that left flank, a mistimed clearance. And now off to the races, Holali making a devastating run, caught it past the goalkeeper, but clipped her own back heel, and now it is RTC in possession again, but not for long. Preya had possession on the wing, and Thimphu City will have to settle for a corner. Got their first goal from Pemacharan through that same setup. This time we'll get the chance to close off the half through yet another one. Thimphu City have their personnel posted far out, far post. They will look to run in and get a powerful header in. Waiting for that whistle. Holali juking out as many defenders as she can. There's the whistle delivery. It is placed right in. Holali missed the header, but the follow-up from Karma will go too far out for any chance of netting it past the goalkeeper. RTC almost gave a throw-in over to Thimphu City, but this time they do, however, keep that pass on line. And now Kille. Options to work with, gets it past Pema, right down the middle. Diki. Dojidin. And now out to Punso. They are 2 goals down, not much time remain. Diki did all she could, but Thimphu City merciless, simply toying around with RTC right now. Before the match, in the pre-match conference with the head coach of Thimphu City, well, her attitude did show a lot more humility and humbleness than the match has shown us so far. Did give RTC the props they deserve for holding on to the top spot in the Women's National League so far. But right now, Thimphu City looking to put an end to that run. Holali does not get that contact. The challenge there from Doji Iten is solid. And right back out to Karma Yudin. Sukmaya. Simply tragic in the way that ended. Had a lot of promise given how calm their defenders were playing. But that pass betraying the frustrations and panic that are on the minds of the RTC personnel. As Thimphu City get a throw in from their own half. Not much time remain, only seconds until the referee decides that this is it. But we may get in one more possession if both of these teams can get a solid attack in. Maybe RTC. Right down the middle, Doji Idin took maybe a touch a tad too heavy, and the referee, looking at his watch, will decide that this is it. 2 goals against RTC, whose campaign so far has not seen them concede a single goal from any of their opposition. And right now they are looking at maybe their first loss of their campaign. And on the other end, Thimphu City look to take their winning record up to 5-0. But we never know. The halftime break may very well be the regroup that The RTC women's squad may need to get their heads right and get their game back to where it was before we had the break. But until then, this was your commentator Ugantesh Toji. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you guys for the feedback. Thank you guys for the interactions. Until see you guys in the second half. Ladies and gentlemen, Kuzangpo, and welcome to the second half in the showdown here between the top two of the BoB Women's National League. RTC, top of the table, is right now in the deficit. It is second place, Thimphu City, that has found 2 goals. The first courtesy of their captain, Pemacharan, and the second from Holalia Tivo up front. Only one substitution right now. I do believe it was Tony Wangmo that was brought in for Punso. And with that, right now, we are back in action still for Thimphu City. And RTC still struggling to find their opener. Hopefully, the halftime break was enough for them to get their heads right. Decent delivery inside. No contact with Thimphu City. It will go right out for Sangeeta's goal kick. Pemacharan. Strong challenge there on the wing, but it goes unpunished. It will be a goal kick for RTC. Close call there from RTC, but not quite enough to put that cherry on that kick. Super build up otherwise, but now a response. Holali! Decent effort from the City forward, but will not quite go as planned. A brilliant hand in the way, plenty of strength on that ball, but can only imagine the strength that hand from Karmayuddin had in order to send it right out for a City corner. There's the whistle. Thimphu had their first goal by way of a similar corner. This time it is first contact Thimphu, but the follow-up not quite there. Pemacharan attempting an ambitious overhead. It simply flies right out for yet another City throw-in. Had a solid 10 minutes in the first half where it was a series of throw-ins on that flank, but on the other end of the pitch, hopefully we do not see a repeat of that again. As Thimphu City throw in throughout congested traffic, will not find any avenues, and now Thimphu City retreat, anticipating a quick and clean counter-attack from RTC. Lali unfortunately clipped that ball with that left foot of hers, which was planted down on the ground. Attempted a delivery at least. Karma tried to save it, but it will go out for yet another corner for Thimphu City. Back-to-back corners, this time from a more favorable position. Early on, it was a right-footed delivery curled out to meet that header that got that goal from Pemachuran. RTC will not want a second of loss of focus. And a whistle on the forwards for Thimphu City gives possession right back the other way. A small room to breathe for the Blues as they get a clean pass out right down the middle. Not much help there. They force it right back out. A costly mistake. Thimphu City. Brilliant burst. Acceleration evident right down the line. RTC do keep it on line. And they do the smart thing, sending him out for a throw-in. RTC, look at that. The struggles seem to be continuing on in the second half as well. Typically a team you would expect so many clean passes out of, but right now, two factors are discouraging that same identity from flourishing here in this match. One is that pressure from Thimphu City. No angles are being left clean. And as a result, RTC are being forced into a lot of tough angles, a lot of hard decisions to swallow. And the second, RTC simply making mistakes. Even in moments where they have the space, the opportunity to show the game that they are capable of, they seem to be simply throwing it away. As yet again, it is back to Sangeeta for a Thimphu City restart. Thimphu City, opportunity deep inside. They do get a decent delivery in, which is headed out first by Sogmaya. But the danger still not averted. It will be a corner, yes, for Thimphu City. Sunita getting to her posts. The rest of her squad so far have not been able to get a decent header on those deliveries since that first effort from Pema. Delivery driven low. Sugmaya gets that reception, sends it right back out for a retake. The pressure will only mount. Pemachuran signaling her team to calm it down, calm Sunita down, who this time gets a decent loft in, but it is headed out by Dojiden, and now out Namgedema gets that flick past Karma. It is chaos. Pemakinzang mashed up. One-on-one will force that back pass towards Kille, who sends a decent one in, but it is Thimphu City who gets that interception first. Kille. Throw in play towards Dikil Hazum, but that will go nowhere. Instead, it is Sangeeta who gets that pickup. Promising build up, but look at that defensive effort. Yet again, Thimphu City squad's not sure what he did during the break, but their players have come back alive. Pemakinzam, decent touch. Flicked it right back. Mikazum will get their shot off. Sangeeta off of the rebound. Pemakinzam cleans it right out. But the flag will nullify that comeback from RTC. A string of close calls for Thimphu City culminating in a brilliant shot there from Pemakinzam. Simply positioned too far off of that final defender. Again, right now, Thimphu City has not managed a single clean sheet across the entirety of their campaign. It was a 3-1 over Transport. It was 4-1 over under 17s. Under 20s suffered an 8-3 loss. It was an 8-2 over City. And right now, it is table leaders with a goal difference of more than 58. So now, decently cleared back out to Namgir for a chance at a delivery in, which is sent right back out by Thimphu. Kinle. Chance for RTC, but not for long. Karma sends it right out, and RTC still on the back foot despite having possession. A really hard paradox here at Changlimang to process, as RTC again simply given those chances by Thimphu City to work with, but right now unable to progress it past the first line of defense itself. Dojiden. A tough backline to beat. It is Thimphu City who gets a flick in, but the whistle will send it right back out the other way. Chamyang. Left footed right down the middle. Hulali, solid control on that ball. Again, look at that balance and stability. Despite the numerous challenges that were coming her way, still retained balance and the dribble to get that final outlet off, which was simply unfortunate. Went right towards RTC's goalkeeper. But again, as has been the tale of this story here at Changlimang, no punishment for those kinds of mistakes from Thimphu City. Typically, RTC, a team you would expect to capitalize on those mistakes, are not doing so. And as such, we have Thimphu City back in possession. Sunita mashed up one-on-one, will abuse that pace. Paskin outlet towards the middle. Pema will be on her to keep the tempo down, but let it roll for far too long, and Dikil Hazum has the advantage in terms of that regard. Pemakinzam. Diki. Solid one touch out to Pema, but the pace not quite there. Jamyang it is. And now out to Sangeeta. Brilliant control there from Sonam. Keeps it under control. But again, as unfortunate as it may be, Thimphu City gets possession, gives it over to RTC. Not long until we have possession back for City. Yes, it is. And now RTC possibly back to Thimphu City. Well, not quite. RTC able to hold on to possession for a bit longer this time, and a decent through ball played. Had the vision at least, but the timing simply off, and the offside flag is up. Chamyang flicks one in, but not much lift on that ball to clear it past Sugmaya and off towards Holali. But they do get yet another opportunity. This time decent from Pema. Thought it was only Holali that was offside, but seems like Sunita was as well. The flag will send it right back out for RTC to work with. Sugmaya, not many options. Thimphu City do have a proper coverage set up. Pema. Brilliant defense there by Tringyangdin. Kept a body in the way, and that effort will have to restart from that throw-in all the way down on the flanks. Personnel down for Thimphu City, Sangeeta and Tringyangdin. But hopefully they are okay enough. Not much major contact. Yup, looks like they are okay. A silent stretch right now. Been a while since we have had our last goal for this match. Going into this, would have expected a lot more production from both of these teams, but right now, given the struggles RTC has facing, it has gone over to the City side as well, and it is impacting their efforts as well. A lot of turnovers from both teams. Sunita shoved right into the way of that challenge by Kinle. Was a bit cheeky on that play there. Karma still evaluated on the flanks. Sunita. Unable to get that ball under control. RTC with the throw in. Namge again, an uncharacteristic mistake from the Dragon ladies. A lot of turnovers. But right now it is still RTC's to take. Kille. Throw in, played decent. Namge right inside. Dikil Hazom. An unfortunate stumble again. But luckily they do have possession. Was challenged by Pema. And now down the middle. Choni. Reta fighting for possession. That hustle does play off. Pema off to Namge. Good to get a shot off. But that challenge coming in from Somchoren will put enough stress in her mind to send that shot far and away. Well, no surprise there, as unfortunate as it may be, RTC and their struggles. The plot for today, still no change in the storyline, still awaiting that climax from RTC right now at the 66th minute. RTC still, they do get a short throw in, but Thimphu City, look at that, absolutely hounding the living hell out of that possession. And now Kinle, they do manage to switch it up to a more spacious flank. Namgyel, decent serve on that ball. Jamyang unable to keep it under control, but the recovery there from Karma is excellent. Holali, it's a throw, but Sukmaya got that read correct, and now Karma, no mistake, sends it up on that left flank. The flag is up on RTC's possession. Solid delivery, a head up from Choni will send it right out. Down the middle, Pemachurin keeps that flick alive. Possession still carrying a lot of hope. Pemakinza helping out. Delayed that attack for as long as she could, but it is still another wave. Well, as good of defense they could have put up against that possession, and Thimphu City lose it over to RTC. Anyone's ball, a header, and an ambitious flick yet again. You can't simply expect to put a foot in and retain possession. A bit too reckless in that regard. But Chuni, left flank, has a lot of space. Can they keep? Well, shut down that statement before it could ever leave my mouth, and there is a substitution coming in for Thimphu City. Karma, troubled with injuries early on in this match, is being taken out. And coming in for Thimphu City is Taniwang Mutamang. No need to fear with regards to any chance of a comeback from RTC unless they show us a miracle. In the last couple of minutes, right now at the 69th minute, a bit more than 20 minutes remain. So realistically enough time for RTC if they can minimize their mistakes and make the right decisions going forward. But on the other end, Thimphu City not letting their foot off the gas at all. As RTC given yet another chance to regroup and get a breather in. Again, look at that. Typically RTC, the team with the highest energy levels on the ground, but right now Thimphu City going band for band and even further. As Sunita unleashed on that left flank, Holali the only one to help, but RTC's defense is sparse as well. Scattered. Can they find an angle in? But that delivery will go right towards Karma Yudin for an easy save. This time the chance for a counter offensive, but Sukmaya left-footed will send it right off right before the halfway line for a Thimphu City throw-in. First touches for Tanong Tamang. Gets a strong challenge in one way, but has to poke it right back the other. Did have the chance to get a pass early on, but simply settled into the pace. And now Dojidin, right-footed, got that ball cleanly under, and the header will send it right back out to Kinle Zangmo. Sunita tried to get a foot in, but it is Namgitema. Gets past her first defender. Sunita closing in rapidly. That outlet. Sangeeta, no mistakes. Olali gets the ricochet going in her favor. Right foot opening up. A decent strike, but curled away. It does seem like a corner has been awarded as well. Karma Yudin, great job at least getting a finger in. Chance for one more for City. A bit more than a quarter of an hour. Delivery looking solid. Header sends it high up, and a solid clean up there from Karma Yudin to deny any chance of a follow-up. But it is right back up. Pema Kinzang, her situation has looked hopeless for a long time, and this time again whiffed that header, and it will go right back out the other way. Pema Charan making a mistake herself, simply a stride to behind. Pema, Namge, a lot of space to work with, but it is a narrow angle, delivered right in. But stopped before it could ever get to breathe the same air as her targets. Getting up in mid-flight, but it will still be RTC's. RTC had a decent opportunity at least, but now it is up to Holali. Ativo does get that pass right back to Pemachoren, who can't quite keep it under control and in stride. Or in stride for Holali. Went out way too early even for Holali. And now Dojidin with a decent throw in, but it will go right out to Thimphu City, who flicks it right back in. It is Sukmaya on that matchup with Holali, and Sukmaya will do a decent job. Reita right back into Holali, but the offside flag is up. It will go right out to Karma. Diki gets a touch in at least to Namgedema, who can't quite switch it up. Plenty of pace from both. The pressure is enough to cause that fumble from Sonam. And now the other way. Pemakinzang keeps it slow, holds it down. Might not have been the best of decisions, but it does open up Dikil Hazum right inside that box. Great opportunity there, otherwise for Pemakinzang. But a solid reaction keeps that shot from ever maturing. And now a tackle to send it right back out. A bit more than 10 minutes. Throw in. Play it right along. Now a lofted delivery inside. Sangeeta keeps that first header from Pemakinza off. And her teammates will do a good job sending it right back out for RTC to pick it up right where they started from. Clipped off. Sangeeta it is. RTC at this point finding no answers. Their struggles getting apparent in their body language. Typically, if they are up, they are a team that would go out hunting. And right now that is not the case. A touch in from Tanuangmo is cleared off. Still fighting. Somthamo almost get a clean challenge in, but Reta Rai is the first to get that outlet towards RTC. Blessed with possession, cursed in execution. The story of the match, RTC unable to get proper passes in. There have been moments where we saw that clinical sharpness that has carried them right up with clean sheet victories, dominant victories against any other opponent. But right now, that is merely a shadow of the past long gone. Still a lot of hope. 10 more minutes should be enough for that team especially to get a couple of goals in. Kille timed that backheel flick to sheer perfection. Had a lot of risk involved in that decision. Sunita was right behind her if she missed that, but now Thimphu City with advantage. Shot from distance. Clean there from Karma Yudin to deny that opportunity, and right back out to Kille. again. A level of football we're not used to seeing from RTC. As much as I want to keep going and support for them as well, the football they are playing right now does not really show us any signs of hope, does it? Thimphu City, on the other hand, 2 goals comfortably up on top. Can afford to send those clearances out right back towards RTC's defense. RTC, on the other hand, cannot continue to make those same mistakes again and again. 10 minutes left. Olali. Kanda Yudin, solid hand, forces it right out for a clearance. RTC will keep that ball online. Possession down on that flank. Namge right down the middle is intercepted by Tanuwa Mutamang. He simply missed the header. Choni did get a try in, and now Pemachoran cuts right back in. Can she get to that recovery? It is Reta Rai. Pemachoran wanting that goal. But simple miscommunication in that front line for Thimphu. They did have their teammates in, and because of the confusion Pemachoran was creating, calling for that foul even when her team had possession. Simply got that timing incorrect on that flank where Sunita was caught off guard. Tikilazum gets a clean pass in, but that follow-up failing 3 times in a row. Similar fashion as well, that left foot sending that ball way too up ahead to Sangeeta. Rita Rai has been brilliant, but that pass of hers far off the mark. Namgetema. Solid recovery there from Kille. That ball looked like it was far and beyond any signs of hope, but did well keeping it under play. But she will be tested yet again. Holali flagged offside. Thimphu City do a great job getting that position right back, courtesy of Reta Rai. Pass outlet passed out towards Holali. Will go right out to RTC given the plethora of challenges that came the way of 28 up front for Thimphu City. And now Reta had plenty, had the ambition there. Jamyang knocked down on that challenge. The flag will go up and the whistle will send it right back out for Thimphu City. 5 minutes on the dot remain. Namge. Decent throw in. This time RTC keeps possession. Dikil Hazum with the flare, but the follow-up again. The question. Fortunately, they still do get the chance to get that second effort in, but it will not last for long. Yet another offside flag as both teams struggling to hold on to possession. Thimphu City are getting challenges in. They are getting their boots on the ball clean as well. Their failure is, but they have the comfort at least. They live with those mistakes. 2 goals up right now against RTC, who do not quite have that same luxury, yet are making the most mistakes. RTC, decent chance, but Sangeeta flicks it right off. Sends it deep. Sunita on the flanks. The chance to cut in. One-on-one, Killet left behind, left-footed off the woodworks. Almost thought that was going in. 3 more minutes left until we hit the 90-minute mark. And there's a sub coming in for RTC. Sonam Gaki Pelzom coming in for Tsering Yangchin. Last time around, even as a defender, had a couple of goals to her name in that 24-goal beatdown against United Fencing. Lali, decent effort, had the quickness to get it off of that challenge and an attempt in as well. A sheer display of athleticism up front from Lali. Typically, that turn would take a lot of time, but she completed it in an instant. Thimphu City gets off a solid shoulder in, and now Jameng Chorin. Pass played out towards Sunita, but it is Kinizangmo who was hidden right in plain sight. Right in that passing lane, and this time Dikil Hazum off to the wing. Back to Diki. Bemakinza up front, but that pass will go out to the wing. Hopefully they make something decent out of it. But a stumble inside. Namgedema taking her sweet time getting up despite the opportunity, and Dikil Hazum as well. Simply fell down. The last minute of play. Sangeeta launches it off long. A substitution is preparing to board down on the sidelines. The other Kinezangmo coming in for their starting 11, Kinezangmo. Only seconds until we see the signal for additional time. Holali, the target up front. Doji Eden got that challenge in, stumbled, and 3 more minutes it is. Throw in, played short, Jamyang. Strong sent off there by Sonam. And now Dikil Hazum, quickness. The quickness to keep that possession alive. As Pema, final touch off to Sangeeta. The captain helping out cover up any and all gaps that appear in the team right now. That gap is on that back line. Tikil Hazum finding a lot of freedom to operate in. It is simply their own undoing that has kept their opening far and away. A dream far off into the distance and in the clouds. Kaki. Throw in, plate save. It is Pema Kinzang that comes off with the recovery. Namgatema, decent delivery right inside, but no target. As it will roll right out for a goal kick from Sangeeta Mongar. And with that, now too little time for RTC to do anything against Thimphu City's 2 goals. If they were in playing to the fullest of their capacity, they may have had a chance even in this limited window of opportunity. But this is a battered RTC that is simply fighting to hold on against Holali and Thimphu City. As Holali right up, off to the side of the nets. RTC now with their first defeat of their season. And Thimphu City continue on with their win streak, 5 games won, including this one, and the first with a clean sheet against table leaders RTC. Both will now going forward be tied at 15 points, but Thimphu City the better record without any losses. Pema Kinzang, that header goes completely nowhere. Doji Iden lets it roll right back out to Karma Yudin. Jamel off to Pema. Can't get the pass in between those centre backs. And now off to the wing. Sunita again too far out for her to get her pace to work. Songa Kipelzom, a header, sends it right to Pema Kinzang. Outside of the box, Sangeeta coming in. It is a header from her defender that sends it right out. Tikil Hazum, no chance there on the recovery. Any second until Thimphu City officially shut down the reign of terror of RTC. And there it is. Thimphu City, congratulations. A massive win here today that will bring them level with RTC at 50 and pretty much securing their qualification through to Tier 1. A dominant run gets their first win, clean sheet as well. And a solid return for Sangeeta Mongar. A goals courtesy of Pemachurin and Holali Otivo against RTC, who could not find a single answer to this lively Thimphu City squad. And we will end the story here with Thimphu City Women's 2, RTC Women's 0. Till the next game, this was your commentator Ugintish Tochi. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you guys for tuning in. And see you guys in the next one.